Yo, what's up, YouTube family? Day Trade's back at it again here. This is going to be a little different necessarily as far as what we're going to cover, but we're going to look at a week's worth of trades from Tuesday to today. We went 4-1 on the week, so we're going to backtrack here and recap a little bit of what we saw within the markets. All right, so here we specifically traded NQ all week necessarily, and price action was moving very smooth, right? So to start the week, obviously, I'll come through, mark my buy side liquidities and or just liquidity in general. So it's buy side, sell side, data high, data low, whatever the case may be, and that's anything between Asian and London session, going into New York session market open at 9:30, right? So this is Tuesday's trade specifically. In terms of what we were looking for, again, I came through, marked my areas of liquidity. Mark my buy side here. I'm gonna put on demonstration. Yeah, marked our buy side here. This was the 8:30, and then we had the low around 8:57 range between that and 9. So we just marked our simplistic areas. Obviously, what I saw in the market at that time, and I also did come through and mark, our sell side liquidity here at the London lows from earlier that morning. But what we had was obviously an uptrend. So market was obviously pending to go for buys, right? The previous week, if I'm not mistaken, we did have a little bit of buys in the week there. So it wasn't really looking for anything shorts. So, as you can see, it played out. We came into that opening there, had the 9:30 New York kickoff, pulled back a little bit, dropped down, grabbed some more liquidity on the sell side. And then we had pending orders here pretty much, right? So ideally, I came through, saw this fair value gap that looked to be an inversion. And as you can tell, we did get tagged in a little lower here in this area for a nice 1 to 3. So we pretty much just took a buy and just held it through the whole day. So realistically, with what we risk, generally is about five mini contract, or I'm sorry, five micro contracts here with anything related to M and Q in general. So that would have been a nice 750 on the day necessarily there. So as we transition over to Wednesday morning, right? Same thing. We just come through, mark up our areas. And in this case, we were looking at just different liquidity areas as well. So we did see some form of consolidation throughout the Asian and London session. Came through, marked out Asian highs, Asian lows, both sell side liquidity and buy side, as well as for London, it's the same. And just some form of odd shift that happened, right? There was a gap formed. Yep, right here. So we did form this gap last Friday, and we did anticipate it to be filled. So therefore, we were going to take off or take a look at, sells throughout the day for Wednesday. Typically, what I've seen in the market in the past, just over the course of trading in general, I've tend to see these gaps only get filled, say they start out on Sundays, and then by Wednesday they're typically filling, right? So as we dive back down here, let's see what we can get. We were anticipating no sell. So in my mind, I'm going in obviously with the bearish mindset. So I know we had to target the sell side liquidity as well as, previous London lows that we did not sweep the previous day on Tuesday. So that gave me enough confirmation to sell. So I just looked for my setup, some form of displacement here. We did get the displacement and then formed a bearish fair value gap, came up, retested, and took that entry there for a nice another 1 to 3, another 750 on the day. So at that point in the week, we're almost pretty much at 1500 on across all funded accounts, and people are in the works getting funded through the chat, right? So then as we come through, we are now at Thursday, and we're going off of just a general macro entry here, just with how we trade here at Market Mentors, and it played out perfectly. We came through again, marked buy side areas and sell side liquidity areas, both for Asian and London. Just waited for one of them to be reacted off of, right? As you can see, market open here at 9:30, pushed low, grabbed all liquidity from the downside, and then we're just taking chances with the buys there, and it worked in our favor for a clean 1 to 3, no real drawdown necessarily. And even with news that day, we did get data highs and data lows were ran along with that sell side liquidity. So I knew at that point, I'm like, okay, I have to target these data highs on the day, right? And that's what it did. So we could have held obviously up to, Asian high and got that swept for extra profit, but why gamble and take that risk, right? So just stick to your strategy, your risk reward, and it'll pay you in the end. So again, here's another 750, right? And that's Thursday. So as we come into today, which this is Friday morning, we did anticipate buys and we also did take a L here. So this would have capped us off at 4-1. So ideally, same similar setup to what I saw yesterday was what I thought formed before I kind of had my directional bias and everything altered there. But we just didn't want to overtrade and take the sales off of this short. But the reason behind the buy, obviously, we swept buy side liquidity, came down, tested sell side and London low, and we grabbed that there with that wick. So I was pretty confident coming into this fair value gap that we were going to invert it. Therefore, we placed the buys there, took those buys, and we came to TP1 and then immediately retraced back to our stop loss. So realistically, we could have had it as a break even day, but I wanted to challenge this TP2 area at 14, or I'm sorry, at 19,941.75 before moving to break even and just holding it the rest to full TP at 3% there. So end all be all, this trade only cost me $250. But overall, with the week, we are highly profitable, right? And at the end of the day, that's what matters here with us. So to cap off the week, again, we went 4-1, made enough money to keep accounts alive across the boards, and also we did get a chance to request a payout, so that was pretty good. That was the upside there with the week. So going into next week, we'll just see what market gives us necessarily, and we'll just go about it the same way we do any other trade. So I appreciate, t tapping in here with our quick run through as far as a weekly recap and anticipate a lot of moves coming next week, just throughout the week with news and the first start of a fresh month and a fresh quarter of April. So if you're, again, looking for some form of mentorship through your trading journey with getting funded, no matter the broker, no matter the mindset, everything of that nature, you came to the right place. You found the right page, and we got the right mentorship for you. We're here to help you out. It's not about us or anything like that, but we're here for the people. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. So if you feel like that is your calling there to seek mentorship from myself as well as my team, then definitely tap in with the links in the bio. Get in touch with us and message directly, leave comments, likes, and subscribe, and we'll get back to you.